Commissioner Roger Goodell is still considering information gathered in Tom Brady's appeal hearing for his 4-game suspension for his role in the Deflategate scandal. Goodell has told CNBC that a decision is coming very soon and could be as early as next week. For this, we welcome in the coach. To the desk. Hello, hello.
Poor Roger, right? Everybody's waiting.
Yes.
And whatever he decides, half of the people say it's great. The other half of the people say it's no. Some people say he brokered a deal with Kraft. We got all the scenarios already.
This is very divided here on this one. How much pressure is Goodell under?
He's not under pressure.
No?
No. That's his job description. His job description is obviously to protect the shield. The owners hired him. He has the obligation to make sure that the rules and the regulations are never compromised. Now, whether we agree with that and how he goes about his business, we can all say that. We all sit in everyone else's seat and say, well, I would have done it this way. He has a job to do. He's going to make a ruling. He's gathered information. If it's 2 games, obviously everybody's going to say, guess what? No. Mr. Kraft, he brokered a deal. When he decided to say, you know what, we're okay, whatever sanctions you put on our organization, we're good with it. Everybody said, he brokered a deal if Brady gets 2. All right, if Brady stays before, people say, oh, that's unfair. He doesn't have enough information. How can he do that? He's mad at the Patriots. Look, no matter what way it goes, he sits in the chair of he can never be right. And he understands that.
That's absolutely right. He's in a no-win situation, but I'm not sure that means he's under no pressure. It depends on what kind of guy Roger Goodell is. When you're in a no-win situation, do you realize no matter what I do, no one's going to be happy?
He's like the president.
And let it go?
Like the president, right?
Or do you own all that burden of everybody hating you? So that's the question. You're right, though. Let me say this. If he reduces that penalty, it looks like the inmates run the asylum. If he upholds that penalty, it looks like reducing the ball pressure 1 PSI is more egregious than hitting a woman. How exactly does Roger Goodell win? He knows he can't. So you know what he does? He fakes it. He gives fake punishments to appease people that he knows will not be upheld. Adrian Peterson, this one, Greg Hardy's 10-game suspension. Every one of those are done for PR purposes, to look tough, knowing eventually that'll never be what the penalty is. I think he's under a ton of pressure, and I think his behavior shows it.
Fake punishment? I'm confused by that.
Well, he gives a punishment. We know Adrian Peterson got banished for a year. Greg Hardy got 10 games. Tom Brady has 4 games. But none of those actually end up being what the suspension results.
Okay.
Well, he knows this. It's always he's going to really go on the high side of it, knowing the NFLPA is going to be involved in it. It's going to go to, if it goes to court, someone else is going to be involved in it. So he walks away with saying, look, this is what I decided to do. Now, it was ruled against me. I can't do that. And so he would rather be stern than lenient. And, you know, and that's how he's done it. Now, I must say this. We have been a reactionary league. Then that's the problem I have with the whole deal. You can go back to the domestic violence situation. That policy should have been tore up 20 years ago. Okay, it was way outdated. I understand that. I agree 100%. But we are a reactionary league, and that's where the problem lies. We always look like, oh, when something happened, what are they going to do now? Oh, well, I better do this for this. And it's almost like we're public officials. We kind of throw things out there for people to put on Twitter, and we kind of get the pulse of the fans. And
then react
and we go,
accordingly.
You know what? Oh, we better do this.
I think we just agreed 100%.
No, that's the problem I have.
Okay.
These are 100% PR moves.
It's done in a way where we want to feel the temperature.
Okay. How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
This is why Roger Goodell is under no pressure. He has 32 bosses that he makes a lot of money for. We're going to have 2 teams in Los Angeles. We're going to have a team in Europe, whether it's London, England, or somewhere else. Until I hear more than a majority of owners put pressure on Roger Goodell, public opinion means absolutely not a damn thing to me. And that's why he's under no pressure. If it comes out, whatever decision he puts out there, the people who put pressure on him, 32 owners are like, hey, Roger, you handled it. You did the best you could. Keep making us a lot of money. That's why he's not under any pressure no matter what decision he's going to make. We know Tom Brady's not going to like it unless it's 0. We know Robert Kraft deep down inside is not going to like it because I wouldn't want my quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, out for any game. However, if you're going to say that, oh, Roger Goodell, if you make the wrong decision, your job's in jeopardy, Roger Goodell is laughing in your face when it comes to stuff like that because he's got 32 bosses that are going just like this. Hey, Roger, Keep it up.
Yeah, but Robert
Keep it
Kraft,
up.
doesn't he have to keep him happy? I
He
mean,
can keep
there's
Robert
owners,
Kraft.
and then there's owners.
Yeah,
There's
but
Jerry Jones. There's
that's
Robert
fine.
Kraft. There's Dan Snyder.
But he's got the 2 of the 3 on his side. Majority rules in this situation. Robert Kraft is not the main owner in the National Football League. Molly, your point is right about there's certain owners that have that kind of cachet. But I haven't heard, even when Robert Kraft stood down and had that press conference, that told me a lot about, you know what, I may disagree with Roger Goodell, but in this situation, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to create disharmony because I don't like how he's handling it.
Well, when Kraft stepped down, that did not surprise me, because he has to deal with the 31 other owners, knowing that this has been an embarrassment. For 4 months, we've been talking about Deflategate. I mean, it's embarrassing.
With no
to the
resolution.
league and for everyone else. I mean, we got tired of talking about it. And the owners are sitting there going, hey, look, you know, our brand right now, it's not looking good. We got to figure this thing out. And the only owner I knew that would continue to fight was Mr. Davis.
Al Davis. Yes.
He didn't care. He was the maverick of all the owners. Matter of fact, he sued the league and won. He was the only one that was able to do it because that was his Al's way. And I think Robert Kraft, at the end, there was other owners that said, you know, enough is enough now. We got to move this. We got to get this off of the front pages. This is becoming bad for us.
Yeah, I mean, the question you have for us on the table is how much pressure he's under.
Yeah.
0.
Freddie apparently feels none.
0.
But he's speaking for himself.
No.
I think Roger Goodell's behavior, and I think Herm and I both agreed and pointed this out, in responding so readily to public opinion, knowing good well that those punishments will have no ultimate meaning, reflects how much pressure
The
he's
public
under.
can't fire him. They can't.
Then why is he responding so readily to the public?
Because he has an obligation to NFL fans. But they didn't hire him, Will. The 32 owners put him in place. Those are the people that can fire him. He can get as much vitriol from fans as he wants until he hears it from the majority of owners. Roger Goodell's not under any kind of pressure because fan reaction, he only cares about fan reaction when it comes to putting more money in the pockets of the National Football League. As long as fans continue to be lambs to the slaughter and want the National Football League, that's why he's not under any pressure of losing his job or losing in the court of public opinion. He is not going to lose in the court of owners' opinion, and right now he's pretty strong in that court.
They have dictated punishment a little bit, though, just based on the PR perspective.
I don't doubt that. He's not in danger of losing his job.
Just a little bit. We have another guy that unfortunately was in danger over 4th of July weekend. That's Jason Pierre-Paul, injuring both of his hands during a fireworks accident over the weekend. On Wednesday, according to our Adam Schefter, his right index finger was amputated, and according to our Ed Warder, he also fractured his right thumb. Ed Warder is also reporting that, according to league sources, JPP is unlikely to sign his franchise tender until he's confident he can pass the team's physical to prevent the Giants from putting him on the non-football injury list. And having full control over the player's return, the thumb is expected to take longer to heal than the wound from the amputated finger. JPP, not the only player who had a fireworks mishap. The Bucs' C.J. Wilson also lost 2 fingers over the holiday weekend. Unfortunate situation, Herm. We defer to you. How should the league regulate this?
Regulate what?
I don't know, the
Players
fireworks.
Players getting hurt on the offseason?
Yeah.
Players doing silly things?
How do you control them?
Well, let
How do
me
you
tell you
sleep
something.
at
Now,
night?
I'm the senior citizen. I said that earlier.
You're not.
when I
You're the
sat
godfather.
Here we go.
Nice.
Until Skip's back.
37 years. 37 years. 30 of them being in the National Football League. The last 7 working here at ESPN talking about the National Football League. Every offseason, players put themselves in harm's way. And so we can regulate it. What are we going to do? We're going to fine them? You're going to kick them off the team? Are you kidding me? We're not going to do that. This is what players do in the offseason. My pet peeve would have as a football team. I would put all the incidents up the prior year to remind them, hey, guys, this is what happened last year after OTAs before guys got to training camp. I would tell the story. You don't play football until we get to training camp in July. If you're wrong, done or not, that bottom line, that's not good. We're not playing football. Don't put yourself in a... Just do what you do. Have fun. Yeah. Well, we don't want any incidents. But here's the problem with athletes. All professional athletes. They all think, you know what? Won't happen to me. I'm good. They're competitive. They think they can accomplish anything. Oh, I can do that. Look, I was one of those guys. I get it. I fooled around and went skiing. I should have no business skiing, right? Somebody convinced me, let's go skiing. I go up there. I'm an athlete. I can ski, right? The first thing I figured, I put those skis on, and I had to go over to the little slope, you know, and I'm learning how to do all the, and I'm with little 8-year-old kids. And I'm going, this is ridiculous. I'm going to start getting mad as an hour went by. This is ridiculous. 8-year-old kids skiing better than me. So I said, let me get on them lifts. So I get on the lift, took the wrong lift.
Oh.
Where way up the mountain. Now I'm up on the mountain going, how am I going to get down?
Yeah.
Right?
Call the helicopter.
No, and I came down that hill. Let me tell you something. When I got down that hill, I took those skis off, and I went over there and said, you know what? I want some hot apple cider. I'm done. I'm done.
You're like,
I'm done.
chill in the lodge.
Why were you done?
Because I said I could have killed myself.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
But it took me to do it first, and I'm glad I didn't hurt myself. And that's the problem with athletes.
You realized your own fallibility, your own ability to hurt yourself. You said, how do you regulate it? Well, one, there's two types of regulation. Preventing it. You're not going to do that. What do you do? Hire an NFL police force every 4th of July that walks around to players' houses and makes sure they don't light firecrackers? Never going to happen.
Yeah.
You can punish it. That's how you regulate. But you punish it by putting it in your contract, which teams do, that if you hurt yourself in off-field activities, you don't get your money. Your contract is void. And JPP is learning that today. He might be losing money because of this, and he may soon realize that humility that Herm did. How many years ago, Herm?
Oh,
35?
no, at least, 1979?
Man.
And then he'll start
Long
looking
time
at his
ago.
checkbook
God bless
and
you.
realize no more firecrackers.
Yeah.
To both of the gentlemen's point, certain guys are just going to be SOS, stuck on stupid. And unfortunately, you can't regulate that. I'm not saying that JPP is stupid, but he did a stupid thing by putting his career and his life in harm's way trying to have fun. I mean, leave the fireworks, whatever he was doing. It hasn't come out what exactly happened. We may never get to the bottom of that. The truth that's in front of me is that he has 9 digits now. He's one less digit on his finger. In a contract year, in a franchise tag year, that's when you really have to be more judicious in your behavior. You can't regulate guys or legislate against guys in terms of finding them. You can try to do that. They have a very strong union, the National Football League Players Association, that'll make sure you're not able to get away with that if you're an owner, if you're a coach, if you're a GM, whatever. But if J.P. Paul's not the first time he's had an immature moment.
No.
So the New York Giants, not saying they had to have known, nobody could have foreseen something like this happening. But if you're the New York Giants, if you're going to speak to certain guys on your team, that's when you bring JPP and say, look, dude, you had some moments where you have not exactly used the best judgment. Please don't do this to yourself and put yourself in a situation that you may live to regret.
And there's a reason that there's certain players, not I'm saying all of them, but there's certain players all of a sudden they get the franchise tag on it because teams are still a little bit concerned, still questioning, can this guy handle a long-term deal?
Max contract.
You know, and that's part of it as well.
It's worth pointing out, we were talking about this, there was a doctor, and forgive me, Molly, it was on Twitter, so all I can give you is that level of expertise.
Okay.
That means 100% it was true.
He wasn't a Twitter doctor. He was a doctor on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
That said,
he didn't play a Twitter doctor.
Okay,
he was a real one.
And that said, the index finger is the least important finger for somebody like a defensive end that needs to grab somebody. That these 3 digits,
Silver lining.
from this way to this way, create grip strength. Of course, your thumb's the most important. So JPP, I don't know if he learned his lesson. He lost his least important finger.
Well, that's what the doctor said, but he's not playing football.
He's not playing football. Thank you.
He's not the guy out there all of a sudden, you know, I've been playing with five of them. Now I got to play with 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You
easy
still
for the
gotta
doctor
grab
to say.
people in the
It's easy,
NFL.
like the fan, you know, like the fan when they watch the game. Oh, how did he drop that ball? Oh, he should catch that ball. It's easy for us to say.
Well, Herm, if I took out a knife and said sacrifice 1 finger, which one are you giving me?
First of all, if you took out that knife, you'd get knocked out.
Well,
Okay, you wouldn't even get to the knife. Bam!
You may bring
good thing this is hypothetical.
Will, you
Give me a finger.
Will, you may
I'm
bring
not
the
giving you any of my
Give me a
fingers.
finger.
I like my fingers.
That's Herm's way of saying you may bring the knife over, but you limping back. That's what he's telling you right now.
You know what I think we need right now?
Yes.
Hermisms.
Uh-oh.
A wise man once said, nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing.
Rule of 1. With the rule of 1, you don't get 1 firecrack, though, right?
No, you don't get. Yeah, you
get no
one. and
firecrackers.
He
You don't
wouldn't
get
like the
one.
next one. He wouldn't like
What's
the next
the
one.
next-
Me?
No,
the next
you
rule.
would not like the next
I
one.
need to
next one?
hear
Throw it.
Hermisms
Don't
right
press sin.
Oh,
Don't press
that's
sin.
a good
Don't
one.
press sin.
Don't press
That's a
in.
good one.
You're a Twitter guy, right? Don't press it. Get you in trouble
Herm,
every
I'm
time.
going to take it another level. Don't press send, especially after midnight.
Oh, just don't press it. Get you in a lot of trouble.
All
You
right.
can't blame it on butt dialing or butt
No.
texting
No.
or tweeting and everything
No,
like
no,
that
no.
either.
All right, we got to move on, though. The NFL has another big decision to make with Greg Hardy and the ultimatum he's given the NFL. We'll tell you about that after the break. And Herm, you're sticking around?
Why not?
More?
But not on
Why
skis,
not?
though.
Better than you. Come
Not on
on.
skis, though.
No.